everyone, and welcome. DSP here, and this is the weekend preview. Today is Sunday, March 26, 2017. Got a lot to talk about in this weekend preview because this is a packed week with multiple new releases plus ongoing coverage of other games that have been pretty lengthy playthroughs. So it's a combination of a lot of stuff together, and I want to be sure that you understand how it's going to go down so there's no real confusion when we get to this week and what's Phil playing on what day and when is he planning on checking out this new thing or that new thing. That's the purpose of this video. But before that, let's very quickly go as a quick recap of the last week, because there was a lot of stuff that took place this last week, right? We had the continuation of my Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild playthrough, which, by the way, is almost over. I'm at the very end game parts here where I'm only doing the final exploration of areas I haven't been to yet. And I am going to be grabbing the memories, the final memories, and then it's the final end game castle. Hyrule Castle, and then we're done. That's it. So another 1 to 2 more sessions of Zelda, and I'll probably be done with it. I've also continued my Danganronpa playthrough, which it seems like at least the people who are watching it are really enjoying it. Is it a game that's appealing to a widespread audience? No, not necessarily. But being that, number one, it is a game that I'm playing offline with no stream interaction, which is totally different from my other playthroughs right now. And number two, it's the Patron's Choice playthrough from the Patreon goal of January. There seem to be a group of people that really are loving and digging this playthrough, and the bottom line is I'm really liking the game too, so I'm really enjoying playing it, and I can't wait to get back to it. I also started up my Mass Effect Andromeda playthrough. Now, this, out of all the games this week, by far is kind of the most controversial, because sadly, this game, you could tell, was not made by any of the people who worked on the original Mass Effect trilogy. So much stuff is different from the original Mass Effect games. Sadly, a lot of it is kind of subpar, especially, I think, the combat and the waves of enemies and the annoyance of enemies spawning around and behind you, and the bugs and the things that seem to be in the game. At the same time, though, the game has a lot of charm. Some of the story is quite interesting, the characters and stuff, and the dialogue can be pretty good. So the game is kind of the ultimate mixed bag, where you've got some piece, like almost feelings of nostalgia from the old Mass Effect games combined with really shitty things that they did with this game. You can tell the team just was not as good as the original dev team of the original Mass Effect trilogy, which is sad. But because of that, pretty much everyone's panning the game. I mean, let's face it, everyone across the internet is like saying the game sucks. I don't necessarily think it sucks, I just don't think it's anywhere near as good as the original trilogy, and because of that, a lot of people have been turned off and really haven't been like so enamored with the playthrough, which I kind of get. Listen, the playthrough sadly has a lot of dead air where it's just driving around this giant open world planet maps and stuff, so I've tried to fill that dead air by talking to the stream chat and stuff that I never would have done before in previous playthroughs. I'm trying to integrate into this one so that it's fun, and at least for the people who are watching it on stream, they're like, the game's kind of boring, but at least Phil is trying to keep it active and interesting, and they seem to have been enjoying it. So that's what's going on right now. I'm in the midst of Mass Effect Andromeda, I'm near the end of Zelda, and I think I'm about, at this point, maybe around halfway through Danganronpa. It's hard to gauge, but taking a look that people are saying there's 5 chapters, and I'm basically around halfway through chapter 3, I think that that's about where we are right now in the game, okay? This week, there's 2 new releases that I'm going to be checking out. There's a 3rd coming out that I'm going to have on the back burner, simply because there's too much going on right now for me to take on so many games at once. It would be a very bad decision to have a million projects juggling at once and not knowing when I'm going to finish them, especially because next week is another huge high-profile new release that everyone wants to see, okay? So let's talk turkey about this week, because I know a lot of people are confused about how this is going to go down, all right? Tonight, immediately after I'm done filming this vlog, I'm actually going to film an additional vlog. This vlog is going to be a business update. For those who've been following along the situation with myself and my business and everything going on these past few months, with the ad revenue plummeting on YouTube and me really needing help to try to keep doing this as a job and not have all my bills going to foreclosure and everything, I'm going to give everyone an update. I'm going to let you know how things are going, the combination of YouTube with the new partner network Curse now, and Twitch streaming the way I'm doing now, which is much different of how I used to. I want to give you an update there on Teespring and a bunch of other stuff. I basically want to give everyone a cumulative update, but I don't want to do that in this video. I want to do a separate video for it. So I'm going to film that, and I'm actually going to upload that tomorrow right here to the King of Hate vlogs. Okay, so that way tonight everyone can watch the weekend preview and not have 2 vlogs and no one watches the weekend preview because they all watch the other video. I'd rather split it up. So that video will be here tomorrow on the King of Hate vlogs, a nice big informative vlog for you, okay? Then I'm going to do patron stuff. There's some patron stuff I have to do behind the scenes. But the one big thing I'm doing tonight is I'm going to make the poll now. I'm going to take the nominations from the past 2.5 weeks that patrons have made on the kingofhate.com forums. And I'm going to turn it into a poll of the worst games ever, okay, for a marathon. These patrons will be voting on this for the next 1 to 2 weeks, and whatever gets the most votes will be the games that I play in a marathon, probably the second half of April. I'm thinking it looks like it's kind of dead the second half of April, so it would probably be the appropriate time to do something like this, okay? So that's how it's looking right now. Second half of April, we'll be doing the worst games ever marathon on stream on Twitch, and of course recorded for YouTube, but the patrons are going to start voting, and I will keep everyone abreast of the situation of what games are in the running and how the polls are going as we start to get results in, okay? So that's tonight. Busy night for me. Tomorrow, Monday, is my day off. Now, I was supposed to have a day off every week, right? This was the discussion we had a few weeks ago, is that I'm changing my schedule and that I'm working longer hours every day. I'm actually streaming an extra hour and I'm working later at night, but that's so I can have a day off. I didn't even get my day off this last week because Leanna was sick, and I said, well, she can't go out. I'm not just going to sit around here doing nothing, so I ended up streaming anyway. Tomorrow is finally my day off. I'm excited because I get to sleep in. I'm like, yes, I get to relax a little bit. We're going to go out and get something nice to eat. And tonight we're going to talk about what do we want to do tomorrow because we have the whole day off. In reality, what we really need to start doing is we need to start looking for a new car, because come June, we have to trade in our car right now, the lease, get rid of it, and get a much less expensive car. We're looking to get like a cheap, or not cheap, but a used car that's way less expensive. That certainly isn't, anything of a crazy-ass high grade, just a very base mid-level used car, because honestly, we don't drive enough to even need a high-end car. And, we didn't want to get that high-end car last time around. We were kind of roped into it because they were told, if you get out of this lease, you got to pay thousands of dollars of fees extra to get out of the lease early because we were moving. But if you go into a new lease, we'll waive all the fees. So I kind of got roped into it like a dope, but it is what it is. So, yeah, we got to start looking at cars. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. I got to see how she feels for tomorrow, what she wants to do. But tomorrow's my day off. That doesn't mean there's nothing going on. Tomorrow, even though there will be no live streams on Monday, there will be the remainder of my Zelda videos for my Zelda Breath of the Wild playthrough. So you can get caught up on that if you haven't yet by watching the streams or the stream archives on Twitch. The videos will be uploaded to YouTube tomorrow. So you'll be able to get caught up on the Zelda playthrough if you haven't yet tomorrow. And that will be caught up to where I am in the game. So the next time I stream Zelda, you're going to be right there along with it, and you're not going to be behind or anything, okay? In addition, as I just mentioned, I'm going to upload that update vlog regarding the business and everything going on with that right here on the King of Hate vlog, so you're going to be in the know about what's going on with the business and everything as of tomorrow. And, the good news is it's mostly good news. A little bit of bad news, but it's mostly good news, and I kind of need to talk a little bit about a few specific things, but outside of that, it's been going pretty swimmingly, so that's a good thing, right? Okay, so that's tomorrow. Tuesday, I return full force, all right? Now, Tuesday is a little bit up in the air, and allow me to explain why. There's 2 things coming out on Tuesday that I want to play. The first is the Dark Souls 3, I think it's called the Ringed City DLC. It's the final DLC for Dark Souls 3. But there's also The Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 3. So 2 high-profile releases coming out on Tuesday. The reason I say Tuesday's kind of up in the air is because I don't know, guaranteed, if this DLC is going to be released on Xbox Live for the Xbox One overnight and be out Tuesday morning for me to stream it, or is it going to end up coming out a little later, maybe later in the day, or even Wednesday, in which case I have to wait till Wednesday to play it. I don't know, and there's no guarantee. I don't think that there's been a promise from Microsoft as to when the DLC will be released. If it's released at midnight, perfect, and that's what I'm doing Tuesday. First stream, 11 a.m. Pacific time, is going to be 4 hours of the Dark Souls 3 Ring City DLC. I'm excited because it's the first time I'm streaming Dark Souls now with the new kind of interactive streams, and I wonder if people will be, getting super excited as I talk to them as I play the game, because the thing is, there won't be spoilers or anything because no one's played this DLC yet. There's no way that anyone could cheat or whatever, right? So I'll be talking with people in the stream chat, interacting with them as I play the game, and it could be a lot of fun to do that. I think people are going to come out to watch me see Dark Souls, or watch me play Dark Souls on Tuesday, if I can play it on Tuesday, alright? Now, let's say the DLC is not released in time for my gameplay stream on Tuesday, then I'm either going to do Mass Effect Andromeda or Zelda. I'm kind of on the fence right now. I don't really care which one I play, but being that I'm near the end of Zelda, maybe it makes more sense to do Zelda. That way, by the end of this week, I can wrap up Zelda and have that one completed so I can move on to other stuff, especially with the new game coming out next week. I don't want a big lingering game there, so maybe I'll do Zelda on Tuesday. If not, we'll see. I'll play it by ear, but more than likely it'll be Zelda if we can't do the Dark Souls 3 DLC. Now, that Walking Dead episode I just mentioned. I'm not going to be live streaming that because that is a narrative-based game. That is a game that lends itself better to being an offline playthrough without stream chat constantly interrupting and popping up or whatever. So I'm going to do that offline just like I've been doing my Danganronpa playthrough. That will be recorded Tuesday night and uploaded exclusively to DSP Gaming. So you don't have to worry about, oh no, that playthrough will be ruined now because Phil has a new style. No, that playthrough will be narrative-based, so it's going to be offline and uploaded exclusively to DSP Gaming, okay? Now, the rest of this week is going to be dependent on what happens with the Dark Souls 3 DLC. I don't know how long it is. Typically, these Dark Souls DLCs could be anywhere from 3 hours to like 8 hours long. It all depends on how much they put into it. So, being that this is the final Dark Souls DLC, and it may be the final time we ever even play any Dark Souls content because they're saying they're now officially kind of moving on from that series, maybe it'll be an amazing last hurrah where they really throw in everything but the kitchen sink into this last thing. It'll take me all week to beat it, and if that's the case, that's what I'll be streaming all week, okay? That's great. But maybe not. Maybe it'll be a quicker DLC and I'll beat it in 2 sessions, especially because my streaming sessions now are 4 hours long. Maybe I'll beat it in 2 sessions. Who knows? So depending on how it goes, that's going to determine the rest of the week, all right? So my main gameplay stream every single day is going to be the Dark Souls DLC until I beat it. Now, what I'm planning on doing is balancing that with all the other games that I'm playing. So you may see Zelda at night, you may see Mass Effect at night, or I may be doing offline sessions of Danganronpa at night. It all depends on how I feel and how the feedback I'm getting. I may run some polls on Twitter over here at They Call Me DSP to see what people's desire is, what do people want to see the most, right? I may determine it that way. We'll see. So that's kind of how I'm doing this week. Dark Souls DLC and The Walking Dead on Tuesday. Unless I can't do the Dark Souls DLC, then it'll be probably Zelda. Dark Souls DLC all week on stream till it's done. Balanced with the other ongoing playthroughs at night. And then once the Dark Souls 3 DLC is done, I'll probably go back to main streams to finish up Zelda and then start doing Mass Effect more heavily, since that is the longer playthrough that I'm ingrained in right now, okay? Next week, Persona 5. This is a big one. Persona 5 coming out on April 4th. Finally. I mean, this game was supposed to come out a year ago, right? And it got delayed. It's finally coming out. I'm very excited for it. I really liked Persona 4, as you know. Persona 3 I liked, but not as much as Persona 4, because they had made so many modernization improvements in 4. And for everything everyone's seen in 5, the game looks much better than 4. So I cannot wait. And, this is going to be a playthrough that's going to take a long time. I'm probably going to be playing this for the greater part of April into May, just to warn everyone, especially because I'm going to be juggling Persona 5 with Mass Effect at this point, and probably Danganronpa as well. Expect to have multiple games being juggled and tossed around, alright? I'm just saying, this is how it's gonna be. The one game this week that's coming out that I am not playing right now, but I may play in the future, is Major League Baseball, The Show 17. Now, I know a lot of people are like, man, Phil, you played that for 2 years in the past, and we really liked your playthroughs back then. Will you ever go back to it? And the answer is I may, but as you can see, I am in so many lengthy narrative-based games. I need to focus on those now. I can't give up on those games just to start playing MLB all of a sudden. It would be terrible to now be juggling 4 or 5 games at once, and I'll be in an inevitable limbo where I never finish any of them, okay? So I need to start focusing in more, and so MLB is the game that I want to play, but it goes kind of on the back burner. Once I start finishing up these playthroughs, say maybe mid to late April, then I'll consider playing MLB, but I have to start focusing in on the stuff I'm playing now rather than get inundated and caught up in other stuff, and then I never finish anything, okay? Now, the one other thing that I want to mention before we wrap this up, if you didn't notice, KO Gaming has been dead again. Yeah, I know. KO Gaming, I was really putting in an honest effort to have videos come out every week at least on the channel. I was balancing it between first impressions videos and game reviews, and then I moved on to, say, the fan submissions with things like the This Is How You Don't Play videos or the fan montages. And the bottom line is I have more of those. I actually have 2 or 3 more montages I could put up there, and I also have, I could have done more stuff. The bottom line is, though, if you look at what I'm doing, I'm playing so many games and putting out so much gameplay, I don't have time to work on KO Gaming. Take a look. Between the past few weeks, Zelda, right? Nier Automata, which everyone wanted to see. Then Danganronpa started. Now Mass Effect Andromeda. Now we're talking Dark Souls and The Walking Dead. Next week's going to be Persona. There's no time. There's just literally no time. If I could rip myself apart like an amoeba and do osmosis and clone myself, I would have one guy doing edited stuff all the time for KO Gaming. One guy would be right here on stream to do stuff, or right here, on the couch to do stuff on stream and gameplay and stuff. And then I'd have one person doing vlogs full time probably. So there'd be 3 of me all doing things for different channels and stuff. But sadly, it's just not viable. I can't. I have to focus in on what people want. And right now, it seems the demand people are saying is, yeah, it's nice that when you do a game review, you do a game review, but we want to see you play these fun games on stream and more interactivity on stream, and that way I can be more profitable and keep paying my bills and not necessarily worry on, oh, let's stop and drop everything for 4 or 5 hours at a time to do a first impressions video that's going to get 3,000-4,000 views and basically fizzle out. You know what I mean? The other thing is, for example, Zelda, I can't even do any videos on Zelda. I can't. Because if I do first impressions or review, anything with gameplay of Zelda gets claimed by Nintendo. So there's no way I'm going to spend hours of my time editing a video on Zelda when it's going to get claimed. I'm going to make no money on it at all. It's a waste of time. So if anything, maybe what I could do is a quick spoken word like this, a vlog, spoken word vlog about Zelda, and put that up on KO Gaming eventually as like a semi-review. But I can't actually do a full review with gameplay or anything in it because Nintendo is basically a fucking piece of shit company that claims everything from their gamers because they're greedy motherfuckers who don't understand internet culture and don't understand their own customer base. They literally live in ivory towers, isolated from the world, and they think they know better than everyone else, which is why their company's having so many fucking problems. So, and that's not an exaggeration or an opinion. That's still God's honest truth. That's what's been going on with Nintendo. Why else would they claim everyone's ad revenue on every Nintendo video ever put on YouTube? They're idiots. So, yeah, for Zelda, I don't know. I may just do like a quick spoken word video like this rather than a full in-depth game review because I can't. Mass Effect Andromeda, sure, I could have done a first impressions video, but that would have meant less gameplay. I would have been behind on all my playthroughs. So right now, it's not a good time. It really isn't, And quite frankly, especially because coming up in the next couple of weeks, is actually about 2 weeks left with the partnership of KO Gaming with Machinima. Once that partnership has expired, number one, that channel KO Gaming is going to shift over to a new partnership, okay? And number two, I will finally be free of the shackles and I will be able to talk about the whole situation that happened between me and Machinima. Right now, I've been holding my tongue, biting my tongue, because I'm still within a contract with them, and it finally is going to expire in early April, and once it does, I can tell you, of course, I can't tell you contractual arrangements and stuff, but I can tell you exactly what happened, which I think some people are going to be so, like, jaw-droppingly blown away by the true situation of what happened behind the scenes with Machinima over the years, and stuff like that, you're just going to be like, what the hell? There's all some kinds of news coming out about Machinima now, too, recently. That's not good news. I'm glad I'm not with them anymore. I mean, seriously, I'm being real talk here. That's a sinking ship that I'm glad I jumped the fuck off. I stayed with that sinking ship for a long fucking time, mostly because of this, rather than anything else. And now that I'm not with them anymore, I can't tell you, like, I feel like a weight's been lifted off my back because of the shit that I'm hearing now and I'm seeing now, and it's like, Jesus, I'm glad that I'm out of there. So, anyway, I could talk about the full situation in the next couple of weeks. Once KO Gaming's finally out of its partnership with Machinima, I can finally get the fuck out of there and I can get to work on getting doing that vlog for you, which I know people have been dying for the past month. You'll finally get your answers, okay? All right. So that's what's going on. In summary, tonight, another vlog, which is an update about the business. I'm going to upload that tomorrow right here to King of Hate Vlogs. And I'm working on patron stuff tonight, including the poll for the worst games marathon that's going to be coming up. Tomorrow I'm off, but there will be Zelda videos on DSP Gaming and that vlog here on the King of Hate Vlogs. Tuesday I'm back, hoping to do the Dark Souls 3 DLC on stream. If I can't, it'll be Zelda. And then Tuesday night will be the Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 3, exclusively on DSP Gaming, not on stream. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or however long it takes, I'll be streaming Dark Souls 3 till it's done. And then I'll be moving on back to the games like Zelda to finish it up, and then the continuation of Mass Effect Andromeda. And I'll be balancing those streams at night with Danganronpa and or sessions of Zelda and Mass Effect or whatever until the rest of the week passes. Next week, it's Persona 5 starting up, okay? There you have it, folks. That's the deal. I'm very excited. Oh, one final thing. In regards to this channel, the King of Hate Vlogs, a lot of people have noticed there haven't been any DSP Tries It videos lately, right? He's like, where's DSP Tries It? Is dead? What's going on? There just hasn't been a lot going on. Usually DSP Tries It is typically fast food. There's not a hell of a lot else to try out. And some other products that I try. For example, I've had new energy drinks I've been drinking here, right? V8 energy drinks, but I drink them on the fly while I'm playing games. I can't film a DSP Tries It here while I'm streaming a game. You know what I mean? And that's what kind of sucks is a lot of the things, new products and things that I try out, it's not like a meal that I could sit down and record with a camcorder. I'm just trying it on the fly, so I can't do a legitimate DSP Tries It on it. When there are new food items and stuff to try out for DSP Tries It, I will, but right now there's nothing. I've been checking. There's been nothing good whatsoever to even do one on, so it is kind of on suspended, on hiatus right now. However, in regards to this channel, not only are you going to get that business update tomorrow, but later in the week, I've got 2 loot crates to unbox. I've actually got the March monthly loot crate that showed up at the end of last week, and yesterday in the mail, I got the Marvel Gear and Goods loot crate. So I got 2 loot crates to unbox, and I'm going to be doing those later on in the week here on the King of Hate vlog. So this week there's going to be a ton of new vlogs. There's going to be the business update plus 2 unboxings. So lots of stuff here on the King of Hate vlogs for you this week, okay? That is it, folks. I want to say thank you for watching the week in preview. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. Without further ado, thanks to the following February patrons who made this upcoming Worst Games Ever marathon possible. And that is it. Peace out, everyone. I'll see you for all the new stuff this week. I'm very excited. Be sure to check out that special vlog with the business update tomorrow if you're interested. There's a lot of information I'm going to share with you on updates and everything and how things are going with this and with other stuff. So we'll talk tomorrow, all right? That's it, everyone. Peace out. I'll see you on Tuesday for the new gameplay. For now, I'm out. See you later.